pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now we'll move on to our first call to the public. I do have commenter Deb Doyle from Durand, Michigan.
Thank you, Brandon and commissioners. My name is Deb Doyle. I am the mayor of the city of Durand and the chairperson of your Shiawassee County 911 board. While I was a little disappointed to get all the way here and find out we're not on the agenda, I still want to share with you what I had planned on saying. I wanted to thank you for moving this project forward, for allowing us to build the building. Several of you have participated in coming up with specs to go out for bid. And then once we got the bids back, you were there helping us bring it down. I'm proud to say we did. We looked at all the things that you asked us to do and brought it down. And we were prepared to share all that. But having said that, I just wanted to be positive. I was really disappointed when I heard that you guys were taking flack over this. And I wanted to say that in the nearly 30 years that I have been an elected official, one of the things that I learned was that old cliche, silent majority, is very, very true. And I just wanted to remind you that you have the voice of the silent majority. They voted for this. As a matter of fact, pretty much not a landslide, but it wasn't a slim margin. By 60 over 40% in every district that you represent. In every district, every voting district, they wanted to see this happen. And I don't want to let a couple, you have to remember that there's always going to be a couple voices that are negative about whatever we try to do as elected officials. And I want you to remember that there's a majority there that do want to see this happen and appreciate that this is moving forward. It's an important public safety issue, and I really hope that you will consider approving the bid to finish our building. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to make a comment this time?
I would on this topic.
It's public comment. Maybe we'll say for other agenda. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to agenda item number 4. At this time, I'm going to consider accepting a motion to authorize a change from part-time, which is 25 hours, to full-time, 40-hour status for maintenance worker 1, Alan Custer, at level 3 of the RISE salary schedule with a range from $24,774 to $30,309.00.
So moved.
Motion.
Support.
And support. Is there any discussion, or would you like to kind of give us a quick brief? No? It's pretty
I
self-explanatory.
can, just want to move out full-time. As you know, we changed a few things with the Honeywell contract and the things that he could be doing there. There's other stuff, other maintenance that he could be doing. A lot of mowing, a lot of, even in the buildings and stuff. We just don't have the people to be everywhere at once.
So we saved money with the Honeywell, and now we're just kind of divert it to maybe that same
A little bit of it, not
Not
not much, because, he was already at, I think, 25 hours. He was moving him up the rest of the way, which will be helpful.
Any commissioner discussion?
No, just something I brought up last month for us to consider. Look at the savings last month and then kind of looking at this month so that we didn't rush it last month. But definitely will be helpful for our staff and getting to some of the service calls we have out there. So. And we're sustaining the position too. That's another big selling point. I don't want to add them and then in a year have to go back to a part-time or eliminate. This position can be sustained through the next hopefully, I don't know how far I can say, but for the near future, yes, sustained.
All right. In that case, let's put it to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. Motion carries. Let's move on to agenda item number 5. I will accept the motion to consider authorizing resolution number 17-5-10, resolution requesting allocation of assets from MERS to reallocate the total market value of assets as of April 1st, 2017 between groups 1 and 90 of AFSCME, groups 21 and 22, Teamsters Command, groups 13 and 81, Probate Court, and groups 15 and 80, Circuit Court, and authorize the board chair to execute all necessary documents.
So moved.
The motion.
I'll support that.
And support, all right. Is there any discussion on this? Yes.
Does that clear up most all of our contracts with all the departments?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Wanted to ask that.
Anything else? All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 6, I will entertain a motion considering budget amendment 17-5, enabling the transfer of annual surplus fund balance to 101-955-998-001, other retirement payments, and 101-966-999-000, transfer out of other funds under the annual budget surplus policy established December 17th of 2015, authorizing the expenditure of those funds for their intended purposes.
Make that motion.
Have a motion? I will support it.
I do have a question. Can someone just explain to me in English what that exactly is?
Yes, we, last two years, the board passed annual surplus policy. So any fund balance that we get in, we split it up amongst, the first one is going to be our retirement, which would be our unfunded liabilities. We take, I think it was, I don't know the percentage breakdowns, but maybe like 35 or 40% right off the top is going to go to pay down our retirement, our legacy costs. And then the other two breakdowns go to, the one goes to our OPEB, which is our, goes to those liabilities. And then the last, I think, goes into, which is the last one going to?
Budget stabilization.
Budget stabilization. So that was just something we kind of put in effect. We had that 798,000 surplus, so the way to take it was to start paying down those unfunded liabilities. And now it'll be in place permanently, so just kind of better manage our budget with any surpluses that we have and make sure that we're paying those.
So this is prospectively then? This will occur then, or is this in?
This payment is being made out of the budget surplus that was audited, so the number was fixed for 12/31/2015.
Okay, so this relates to what Pete brought up, right? The increased revenue that the county's receiving?
Not directly.
It's not
no.
tied directly to that, because the numbers are close.
They are close, but it's coincidental,
Okay.
purely coincidental. The surplus from 2015 arose through staff restrictions and so forth, and was basically a one-time budget surplus that probably won't be repeated to that dollar level unless we're very lucky.
We're not lucky. Trust me.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? All right, then let's put it to vote. All in favor of agenda item number 6, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 7. I will accept the motion to consider authorizing resolution number 17-5-11 to supersede resolution number 17-3-5 for submission of a Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund application for park updates at Henderson Park and Rush Township, as well as the use of up to $25,000 from the Waste Management Corporation Fund upon grant approval, and authorize the board chair to execute all necessary documents.
I'll make that motion.
A motion and a support. Is there any discussion on this? This is kind of,
Yeah, this is just our repeat from our special meeting, and we're adding the match funds, the DNR or whoever's evaluating the grant wanted to see
Parks and Rec.
yeah, they wanted to see the match funds listed on our resolution. We didn't have them, so now we have them listed.
What's the
timeline for us finding out if we get this grant or not?
I think it was
My
October,
understanding is we-
October?
I thought we already were approved. I thought it was already October.
October.
It goes before the board.
They'll make their decision in October. That's what I can get at. So real positive feedback so far. They've accepted the application. They want to see the change on the resolution. It shows all the specific match entities. And then they're going to come out and do a tour of Anderson Park June or July. So that's
Anything else they've asked for, or?
nothing I know of. The district is obviously taking the lead on writing it.
Right.
But we moved heaven and earth to do that in a month.
Yeah, it
If
was-
I may, one more, I wasn't at that special meeting. Is that match, is that in kind or is that cash contributions from the council?
Most of it's in kind. The waste management dollars is cash, up to 25,000 flash.
And then there's other like Fez, like my son and I are through Pheasants Forever. We got, I think we pledged like 5 or 10 or something for in kind, and there's some other individuals.
For your help out?
So some is cash, some is in kind, and then it goes.
Yeah. Okay, great, thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, regarding agenda item number 7, let's put it to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Agenda item number 8, I will accept a motion to consider authorizing a contract renewal between the Register of Deeds Office and CoFile Technologies for annual maintenance and support for the Register of Deeds County Fusion Software Program for a 5-year term at a cost of $16,615 per year for the 5-year term, to be paid with $1,000 from the Register of Deeds General Fund budget line item number 101-236-804.0, and the remaining $15,615 to be paid from the Register of Deeds Automation Fund, a special revenue fund, line item number 268-700.0, and authorize Lori Kimball, Register of Deeds, to execute all necessary documents.
Make that motion.
Have a motion?
Support
And
that.
support?
It's quite a motion.
It's quite a motion. Lori, did you really have any comments about this?
Unless you have questions.
It's pretty much kind of renewal, something that's already been going on for ever, and it's more business as usual. So there's no other questions, and let's just move it to vote, and we will signify by saying aye if you are in favor. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 9, I will accept the motion to consider authorizing budget amendment number 17.3 to fund the special assignment of a sheriff's deputy in the front of the court budget, and, if authorized by the Board of Commissioners, the transfer of appropriation to fund the change of one part-time maintenance worker to full-time maintenance worker 1 status.
Make that motion.
A motion,
Support that.
support, thank you. Is there any discussion on this?
This relates to a discussion we had,
Yep.
correct, last month, and, yeah,
Just moving on to what needs to
Yep.
be.
thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, let's put it to vote. All in favor of agenda item number 9 signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 10, I will accept a motion to consider authorizing resolution number 17-5-12, senior citizen services millage proposal, and certifying ballot language.
Make that motion.
Motion.
Support
And
that.
support. Any discussion on this matter?
I'm sorry, I haven't seen any ballot language, and they're gonna be preparing that, does it exist today, was it
It's
in?
in the resolution.
It's in the resolution,
Yeah.
so it's in the
It's
supporting
attached.
It
document.
should be attached right after the
Yeah.
resolution too.
Okay, I didn't see that,
Okay.
thank you,
Basically a renewal of village, it's not an increase.
okay, thank you.
Any other discussion, comments? All right. Regarding agenda item number 10, number 10. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 11, I will accept a motion to consider the adoption of the tentative 2017 budget calendar for the 2018 budget.
Make that motion.
Motion.
Support that.
We have the support. Any questions, comments about this one?
I just turned to our finance director, anything we need to know, or gearing up the horses and?
Gearing up the horses, throw it on. Just finish the audit and then jump into the budget for next year. The calendar is about the same as last year. Based on my experience with the departments and time of year and holidays and whatnot through this period between now and November. I stretched out some periods to give the departments more time to prepare their budget and just move things around a little bit. It's generally the same framework.
I'm sure they appreciate that.
I'm sure they didn't want to do their budgets on July 4th, so, you know.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments? In that case, let's put it to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now agenda item number 12. I will accept a motion to consider authorizing a contract renewal between the Shiawassee County Clerk's Office and Co-File Technologies for annual maintenance and support for the County Clerk's County Fusion software program for a 5-year term at a cost of $4,430 per year for 5-year term to be paid from the County Clerk's General Fund budget line, item number 101-215-804.0, and authorize Caroline Wilson, County Clerk, to execute all necessary documents.
Make that motion.
A motion in support. Is there a comment? Did you want to kind of give us a brief? This is pretty much the same thing that we did for the registered deeds, right?
Right.
Same thing.
It's just so we can process birth, death, marriage.
I feel like I like you more because yours is less money.
She's not here to defend herself.
Oh, where'd she go? Heck.
I'll let her know.
All right, is there any other comments? Business as usual again. All right, in that case, let's put a vote. All in favor of agenda item number 12 signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? None. Motion carries. Moving on to other agenda items. Do we have any comments? Please. Have lots of people already. I didn't mean to. Not really? Yeah, okay. Oh, here.
I just heard the bid on the 911 building. I don't know why we gotta have it so secure. That's just mine. We don't have this building secured. We don't have the jail secure. We don't have the courthouse. Maybe we need some gates over there and some cameras outside and all that. There's only 2 or 3 people work there at a time. Use it just the way it is. Fine and dandy.
Well, I just want to make some comments to Mayor Doyle. We are in support of everything that they're doing, and we understand their hard work and what they're going through, and the bid did come down quite a bit. I still wish it'd come down more. I still wish it'd be around 600,000, not closer to 7. But I mean, I understand we're working with what we can. They're doing the best they can. The contractor's really been helping us out a lot. I just think maybe, I just don't want us to rush into anything too quickly. You know, let's think. And I think some of the other commissioners do need to be in the loop of exactly what's coming before them, before we just, I know a couple of us have been on the building committee and been to the building meetings, but I don't know that the information's really been circulated to the rest of the commissioners to make a full educated decision on this, especially if there's any outstanding questions as to other properties or, in my opinion, it goes back to when we first looked for the building or bought the building. We initially passed a surcharge increase under this, you know, it was let known to the public that we were increasing the surcharge because we had a mandate to get this 911, this next gen equipment. The next gen equipment was 400 and some thousand. Turns out once the millage the surcharge increase passes, the equipment is not 400 plus thousand, it's only 189,000. So less than half. And now all of a sudden, the very next month, we have a building in front of us that we're buying. So I mean, to people, that didn't look like you needed a service charge increase or surcharge increase to continue operations. It looked like you wanted a building, and this was your way to get a building. And that's when you know, thrusting, separating, and going to a separate authority, completely leaving the county completely came up and was almost rushed through. I mean, I just feel that, you know, the last board just rushed, you know, and now we're in the situation we're in. We're almost to the goal line now, where you either make the decision or you're stuck with it. I mean,
So, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure that sounds pretty negative towards 911, but I'm not. I'm supportive of what they're doing, and I understand they need more space, and I understand that they work hard, that, you know, all of this has been a process. I just don't think it's been as open as it should have been, and it's hard. I don't know, Commissioner Holzhausen just now seen the bid, you know, so I mean, I don't know that we've communicated it as well, and maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should get it out and communicate it better, but I just feel, and maybe people agree with me, that we just need to take, and I'm not saying this project's done forever, let's never, you know, we're done, we're selling the building, we're getting rid of everything. I don't want to do that. I just want, maybe let's work it, let's just pump the brakes, take a minute to breathe, and see what we can come up with, and, I mean, that's just my opinion on the whole thing. And again, great work, everybody's been doing a good job, it's been a collaborative effort, but the very beginning phase is the problem I have a problem with. This is the only building, it was the only building we could get. I still think it's far bigger than we needed, but I just wish we could have had these kind of discussions before the board, back when we were going to purchase the building, instead of it just showing up here and then voted through 4-3, you know? So, that's all I have. Thank you, Chairman Rudd. Yeah.
And just a question, as far as the project, presumably this was on some type of timeline moving forward here, and does this delay result in any impacts to the project, or actually increased costs, or any implications whatsoever of further delays?
You probably run into some winter construction issues. This was supposed to be done, scheduled to be done like December? November?
Scheduled to be done November 1st.
November. We don't know what happens in December, January, February in Michigan's construction. So probably, probably a month delay on our part could set this back to potentially spring, completion to spring. An extra 3 months, 4 months.
So, just so I'm clear on next steps then, who's doing what to bring this back to us for approval? I'm trying to understand how we're going to be focused and be able to render some decision.
Probably everyone on the board probably needs to have.
Yeah, you guys need the packets, you need the information, you need the bid tabulations, you need the minutes, you need the packets that set up, you know, building on your own as opposed to buying this building and building it. I mean,
Okay,
you guys need all of that. Yeah.
that's what
Yeah, you
that's
guys
what I asked.
need all of that, and I think to just formulate an opinion. I'm not saying that you guys, you know, to be against it, I'm not saying that, I just think everybody should be on board before we proceed. Because I feel at this stage, I'm not comfortable, and I would vote no. And I don't necessarily want this project to go through with no votes. I'd like to see the board united on a project this big, and if there's some confusion, people are gonna vote no. You know, if people haven't seen the numbers, and the people will vote no. So I would like a more united front, I would hope.
And I'm in a different position. Similar to Gary, I would like it to be cheaper, but I'd also like it to be more secure and hardened, and we don't have the budget for that. So I think, it is what it is, but I have concerns about that also.
I do think too, that as commissioners, much like what Pete said about the planning commission needing specialists, I would agree to that on this project, that we're not contractors. We don't know squat when it comes to that kind of building. So for us to just look at papers with numbers on it, I don't think is going to be helpful. I think what would be very helpful are some of the experts, whether it's Aaron or Pam or whoever, come in and talk to us more, and everybody. You know, I have been to a couple of the meetings, and of course you've been to the meetings, but we all have been to the meetings, and we all can't just learn this on our own. So I would recommend that if that could be arranged at all, to educate us all, that would be great. You know, rather than rely on our own
I also wouldn't mind.
no expertise looking this stuff over and trying to understand it.
In addition to somebody going over our proposed building, whether it's a threat analysis or it's an architect or Pam or Brian, I wouldn't mind, and I don't know which ones we would go look at, but I wouldn't mind going on a little field trip tour to look at some of these other facilities around the state. 'Cause I know there's been some new ones that have been built that have been on the high end, but also on the low end too, so. Maybe it's something we just kind of do on our own if we have a chance, but.
And I'm suggesting that not to delay the process at all. I would like to see it accelerated. I think we need to do something. I don't think we need to sit on this and try to learn every tiny detail. We're not gonna understand it anyway, but let's get some concrete information, get it quickly, and I don't think we should be dragging our feet. Those delays are horrible. And, you know, the worst case scenario would be we drag our feet and we try to get all this education and we end up spending more money. You know, that's a possibility too. So,
Positive note, Low Bidder is a local contractor. All the subcontractors but one are Shiawassee, the other one's Chesaning, which I feel very good about. I mean that's, sometimes it doesn't work out that
and they
way.
have a history.
They have a history of
with
it,
the county. They've done excellent work in the
and they actually originally built that building.
Right, right. So they know the building inside and out.
Why can't they use it just the way it is? We put up a security cameras and a couple of gates across. I mean, we can walk right into the sheriff's office, we can walk into courthouses, we can go in all those buildings, so. Anybody can, so. I don't
Time
know
to
what
change
we gotta
a
have
bit.
it bulletproof and everything else for. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, well,
We walk right into jail, we walk right up to the front desk, and go in any place, so.
the world's changed a bit.
Yeah, when's it change? We're gonna change all these buildings and spend $1 million on them?
Probably in the
That's
next
just
20,
my
30
opinion.
years, yeah. Yeah, probably. Probably in the next 20, 30 years.
Well, it
We
seems
like
like
to have
we're,
secure buildings like all the rest of the counties around us.
we're all on the same page and that maybe just a little more homework's in order. Make sure that we have our ducks in a row. We know what the heck we're voting on, and if it's a 1 month delay to make that happen, I feel like that was probably the right move. Let's take a look at the numbers. If there's any way to cut a little more of the fat off, you know, by all means, we ought to be looking into that too. If there's things that absolutely have to, you know, be had, I know Commissioner McMaster's knows a little bit more about that kind of stuff, and we do move forward with that. But a little bit of homework, 1 month hopefully isn't going to kill the project, it's not going to kill anybody, and become more educated and come back at this in maybe a month. So, that's where I stand on the issue. Is there any other discussion on this? All right, in that case, let's
Well,
just go.
does the sheriff or Pam want to add anything to the discussion?
I guess the thing a couple things that I would like to add. Number one, I have actually been incredibly impressed with the fact that so many of you have been involved with this, and the collaborative effort has been pretty amazing actually. It's been really great. I have sent out emails with updates, monthly, multiple. I hope everyone is getting those, trying to keep you all as updated as possible on this. I do have a big concern about delaying it, obviously, because we have a timeline set up with Peninsula Fiber Network and Digital for implementing the new technology. We're running on a legacy system right now that's already failed more than once. They no longer make anything for that system, so to get parts to fix it or anything else is going to be very, very difficult. It's not supported. So my concern for safety of the citizens and responders is that we don't delay this any longer than we have to. I will get all the vendors and, see what we can do, but Peninsula Fiber Network on their network projects, they're doing the entire state, moving them to the next generation network, and so when they put someone on, you're like 18 months out before you can get on the network, and so I don't know what slot we're going to end up in moving from what we've been doing, so I'm very concerned about that. I understand where you guys are coming from, and we are desperately trying to cut costs where we can. I've looked into different options and then I printed you guys up sheets with some information on that.
Thank you.
That's all I would comment on is that I know there's been some questions of this building and the square footage versus a new building. If we're going to wait a month, I think we should check into those what if questions. What if it was new? How much is this, a square foot? What are the other possible locations? Would it be better? Make sure that we're doing the right things.
Thank you. All right. Well, in that case, the no more comments, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the final call for public comment. Is there anyone that would like to make a comment at this time from the public? All right, in that case, meeting is adjourned.